for us. Representative Roy and I agreed on how we opened this, but not on much more this morning, because we see a different view on this 100th day that is marking Trump's service in office. 100 days of chaos, corruption, and economic sabotage. And after these 100 days, House Republicans are wasting time on cynical Congressional Review Act resolutions instead of addressing the economic and constitutional crisis facing American families. 100 days of economic pain as Trump's on again, off again, off again temper tantrum of tariffs, tank the dollar, drive up prices, destroy the markets, and threaten a recession. 100 days of chaos in the White House where Secretary Hegseth texts war plans to journalists and the administration belittles allies while embracing dictators like Putin. 100 days of corruption as billionaires like Musk and Doge take Americans' personal Social Security data and fire the employees we need to process those Social Security checks. They fired the auditors and inspections, so no one is there to sound the alarm when Musk steers contracts to his own companies. Talk about self-dealing. 100 days of courtroom drama with courts, district, appellate, and even the Supreme Court saying Trump's actions are likely illegal, unconstitutional, and must be paused to avoid irreparable harm to the American people. While Trump defies the law and damages our economy, what are House Republicans doing? This week, and into the next couple, Republicans are plotting to rip health care away from millions of Americans to fund tax cuts for 759 billionaires. Republicans will sacrifice health care for 72 million children, pregnant women, seniors, and people with disabilities who rely on Medicaid to give tax cuts to the 759 richest people in America. And when they destroy Medicaid, folks, they destroy rural hospitals, they destroy health care centers that everyone in the community uses, not just those on Medicaid. But Trump and Republicans want to give tax cuts to the biggest corporations as well. So they have to cut funding from low-income college students trying to get ahead and steal food from the mouths of hungry children. And that hurts our farmers and ranchers too. These are the hungry children that Ranking Member McGovern fights for every day. Millions of Americans will suffer so the billionaires and the biggest corporations can get more power, more money, more control, and more influence in Washington, D.C. Americans are tired of how the system is rigged against working and middle-class families. They know the rich are winning, and regular Americans don't seem to have a chance. The Republican budget and their reconciliation bill, their tax cuts, are going to make sure the rich always win. Now, Trump's approval ratings are the lowest of any president in the last 80 years. In the latest poll released today, Americans give him F. He is getting Fs on the economy. He is getting Fs all over the place. Americans disapprove of Trump because he's destroying our economy and betraying. He is betraying his promise to lower costs from day one. Americans are demanding we put an end to Trump's tyranny. Republican voters are showing up at the few town halls that Republicans are brave enough to have, and they're yelling at their representatives. They're saying, do something. Well, Americans want us to have the courage to stand up to Trump. House Republicans are doing the opposite. Hidden in the rule we are debating today is a provision that will cover up Secretary Hegseth's texting of classified war plans. Republicans won't even let Democrats ask for information about what's happening at the Department of Defense. No courage, just capitulation. Today, instead of helping lower costs for working families, Republicans are pushing partisan bills to overturn environmental laws that protect our air and water. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Costs are going up, markets are tanked, court orders are being ignored, and we're talking about a rule that we will hear later about today that we're going to spend all this time on the floor of this House, and it's not going anywhere in the Senate. Right? We are wasting the precious time that we have on this House floor to do something. I urge my colleagues to oppose this rule, and I reserve.
The gentleman